Hello everyone, I'm Brior and welcome back to Goodgame Empire. I counted down last week through the 8 items that I considered to be the best Ruby purchases, so I think it's only fitting that I address the worst 8 this week. Keep in mind these items are only the worst according to my opinion, and you having bought some or all of them doesn't make you a bad player. Without further ado, let's jump right in. Number 8, the King's Banner. It was a given that the King's Banner would appear on this list. It can be purchased from the King's Market for nearly 5,000 rubies, and practically speaking, it gives you nothing. What it does do is it increases the size of your flag as it appears on the world map. Players who wish to appear stronger than they actually are might be interested in this, but you should keep in mind that a larger flag will make you the target of more PvP attacks. I personally prefer the look of the VIP banner over that of the King's Banner, because even though collecting VIP time is easy, the VIP banner is still something that must be earned. Unfortunately, the King's Banner is often purchased by low-level players who should be saving rubies to upgrade their buildings. Number 7. Castle Relocations. Another mistake often made by low-level players is using the Castle Relocation button too early and too often. There are certainly sometimes good reasons to relocate your castle, but you only get to do it once for free. It costs 5,000 rubies to relocate your castle a second time, 20,000 rubies the third time, and even more rubies after that. Eventually, a cap price is reached. Rather than relocating your castle immediately upon joining a new alliance, wait a few days to make sure you will want to play with that alliance for a long time. Also, don't just relocate to a spot next to your friends. Move to an area that has available superfood outposts. As someone who was once a deputy in a small alliance, I know how annoying it was to hear how our new recruits had already used their free relocations. Number 6. The Tax Collector. You've probably heard about how high-level players should demolish their dwellings to make room for more public order. This is quite true, as you should be collecting all of your coins from robber barons and other local lowlifes. If you are without dwellings, you will also be without reason to keep bribing the tax collector. Bribing the tax collector used to be slightly more worthwhile because it would stop him from stealing a portion of your coins if you didn't return to collect them on time. He no longer does this by default, so that's one less benefit you get from paying him more than a handful of rubies each week. Once you collect more than 20,000 coins from a single nomad or samurai camp, I think you'll see why I included the tax collector on this list. Number 5. The Stronghold. The Stronghold is a building that can be used to protect some of your troops in the event of an incoming attack. Though it can be built and upgraded once using stone and wood, upgrades beyond that will require rubies. The troops you put into the Stronghold will not be able to fight if your castle is attacked, so putting defenders in there is not the way to go. A nearly free way to protect your troops is to use a safehouse, and if you don't know what a safehouse is, you probably don't need to use one. You can still check the description in this video if you're curious. The Stronghold is just too expensive for my tastes, and even at its maximum level, it can only protect 500 troops. The level 2 Stronghold, as built with wood and stone, only provides space for 50 troops, so in my opinion this building is not even worth the space it takes up in one's castle. Number 4. Extinguishing Fires. Unless you're the perfect player, at some point you're bound to lose on the defense in Goodgame Empire. It might happen while you are online, or you might log in to find yourself facing a whole bunch of fires. Up until recently, I was in the server war, so my outpost can serve as a great example. This informational panel lets me know that fires will decrease my public order and the productivity of my buildings. This is true. I know that this outpost would be producing nearly double the food it is now, if not for the fires. However, you shouldn't be repairing with rubies when you can repair for free using the Alliance Help button, or for wood and stone doing it the traditional way. The only time I use the Repair Instantly button is when there are only a few fires in my castle that I know I am too lazy to find. The cost of repairing with rubies caps out at 10,000, but don't let that trick you into thinking you are getting a good deal, even if your castle is really ablaze. Number 3. The Hunting Lodge. The Hunting Lodge is a building that allows you to increase your food production while decreasing the production of stone and wood in your castle. As with the Stronghold, the first level of the Hunting Lodge can be built with regular resources. Upgrading the Hunting Lodge is very expensive, and it will not enable you to increase further the amount of food you are able to produce. Instead, it will reduce the impact of the building upon the production of stone and wood. The game isn't really forthcoming about this, so hopefully this isn't a lesson you had to learn the hard way. You also hopefully didn't just hear the bad news from me. While increased wood and stone production could be a good thing for some players, I recommend all level 70s demolish their wood and stone producing buildings. The reason for this is, again, that you should be looting plenty of these resources from robber baron castles and the like. Number 2. Skipping cooldowns. Attacking NPCs like I just mentioned is a great way to grow your account. However, the game sets a limit on how much you can do this by introducing a cooldown period after each target is attacked. I just defeated this cultist's tower in the Fire Peaks, so I am prevented from attacking it for another 3 hours. If I wanted to work around this cooldown, I could spend rubies. A lot of rubies. Skipping the 5-hour cooldowns of maximum level samurai and nomad camps is even more expensive, and I would have shown it to you on video had it not meant delaying this video's release. Skipping these cultists' cooldowns can cost 8,000 rubies. Now that we players have access to accelerators, skipping cooldowns can be done another way for practically no cost at all. Use one accelerator or spend $7 worth of premium currency? Tough choice. Before I reveal my pick for the most needlessly expensive item in the game, here are some honorable mentions. These purchases may or may not have been more wasteful than the things I've already included, but I didn't find them quite as interesting. The equipment trader owns a tent where you can purchase packages of equipment. All of these packs are based upon chance, however, so there's no guarantee you'll get anything worth your rubies. Even the best legendary equipment in the game is rendered obsolete by uniques obtained from events. It's best to avoid the equipment trader in general. The traveling merchant is similar to the equipment trader, but he sells resources. The exchange rates seen here are awful, and you should be able to collect all of the resources you need via looting or farming. There used to be a character called the Barterer who appeared rarely to exchange one type of resources for another, but he was removed from the game. The exchange rates he offered were also terrible, but at least we wouldn't have to pay rubies if the Barterer was still around. Number 1. Appearance build items. If you are a normal player, you may have wondered at one point what counts as a secondary slot build item. Appearance build items do, and while some can be earned from events, others must be bought. If you're interested in making your farmhouses or granaries look like this, you're going to have to spend a lot of rubies or dollars in order to make that happen. According to this special offer, 2 clifftop farmhouse build items cost 35,000 rubies. Most insulting of all, I could buy all of the things on this screen for the low price of 175k. Appearance build items are the rich man's version of the King's Banner in that they are far more expensive, but still only change the appearance of a few pixels. Oh, and they increase the public order in your castle by a few measly points. That's going to wrap up this video. Thank you very much for watching. In case you missed it, there was a card that appeared earlier asking you what topic I should focus on next. It will appear again in the upper right hand corner now. Don't forget to check out the video I made about the best ruby purchases if you haven't already. I've been Brior, and I'll catch you in the next video.